what a node is and why those who set up nodes are making so much money by airdrop from projects. How, after watching this video, can you start earning by installing new blockchain nodes? I'll have to touch on technical information occasionally, but I'll try to make this video answering the main question for new buys: how, what for, and how to make money. But to understand what a node is in a blockchain context, you need to understand what blockchain is. If you do, then move on to the next step in the time code. Blockchain is an English word translated as chain of the blocks and consists of two words, block and chain. A block is an entry in the blockchain that contains and confirms many pending transactions. On average, about every 10 minutes a new block is added to the blockchain. Imagine a simple account book where all transactions are recorded with a date, encrypted, and have their own identifier. They cannot be overwritten, deleted, or changed, and records can be added in packages. Let's say blocks. It turns out that the blockchain is a public record of transactions in chronological order. It is completely transparent and open information. Everyone has access to it and their ability to enter data, but there is no way to change it. The main characteristic of blockchain technology is a distributed register system. It's the system that keeps a record of all previous transactions. All transactions are not conducted in one place, but are spread across a network of computers, the entire network collectively agreeing on the contents of the registry. This is very important to understand, that every single member of the network, whether it is a computer or another device, has to validate the transaction. This is what creates decentralization. The means by which the content of the registry is agreed is known as the consensus mechanism. Let's find an alternative to the kind of centralized system we are used to. Banks. Each individual bank has its own system for recording transactions, but it is decentralization that is the biggest disadvantage of the system, because it is vulnerable. Hijacked or hacked into the server, all your money and anonymity are gone. But not to get too far off topic or to go too deep, a node is the individual computer that confirms transactions and acts as the unit of the blockchain. Why is a node needed? It is connected to other nodes, peers. The purpose of this connection is to come to a consensus. It is a special mechanism that prevents the cryptocurrency that was involved in the transaction from being and understanding that any computer can act as a node, we move seamlessly to why individual blockchains do this and what point. Now pay attention, as we will be talking about earning. Experience shows that the biggest profits come to those node holders who join a project at the beginning of its journey. Almost every project goes through these two stages, technical and functional. It is in the technical stage where the nodes are involved where the biggest opportunity to get the project tokens is. Of course, not everyone will be able to participate. Projects often select candidates, and sometimes the opposite. The more the better. How does the process of node deployment works? This is something to pay a lot of attention, because it will take some time for those who have not worked with code before. But do not be intimidated, because the most of them have step-by-step video or text instructions. It's enough to understand it once and then it will be easier. This video will not be an installation manual, because I want to introduce you to this way of making money and push to where to look for information and what to do with this information. But also don't think it's too easy. I don't want you to think that it's 1, 2 and done. As a rule of thumb, apart from installing it, you will need to keep up with updates, maintain the code, if I may say so, and keep up with tech updates in Discord. What rewards are available and when? Let's look at an applied example of an Avalanche blockchain launch. The validators who launched the nodes and were selected over 3 phases received 2,000 project tokens, which at the best of times was worth $150,000 equivalent. And this is just one example among others generously rewarded their testers. Solana, Optimism, and other well-known blockchains for very large amounts. But don't be under the illusion that you'll be among these people by installing the first randomized node. Of course, if you become an expert and understanding which projects are worth setting up at what stage they are, you will be able to earn more. You also need to have patience and understanding that if you set up a node right after this video, you'll most probably get tokens in half a year, if not later, if you get them at all. This is if we are talking about making money on the testnet. Most of the testnet holders are still working in mainnet, active working network. And this is some kind of passive income because validator gets a percentage of the commissions of the proceed transactions. Also, you have to spend some money. Rent a server. You will not run the node from your computer. After all, it has to work 24/7. In addition to money, you will spend some time on learning to install, on tests, on the actual installation to maintain updates, on watching the news. No one makes any guarantees about whether a project will be successful or unsuccessful, where you will get tokens or not. It all depends heavily on the market, the team, the funding, and the 1,000 factors that surround you and your node. I often mention this way of making money in project reviews. For example, in a recent video about the new modular blockchain Celestia, we talked about the possibility of setting up a node and becoming a validator because the project is in the test phase. They have taken a smart approach and prepared detailed instructions. So don't forget to subscribe to the channel and my Telegram to get information about interesting projects first. Now you know what is node, how to install it, and how much and what projects pay. All you need to do now is choose a project, install a node, and try to earn money. I think the most cunning ones will be able to scale this business and install one node on different servers to win their place in an already competitive niche. Post in the comments who already been involved with nodes and what are the results. Should I make a video about an example of a node installation? I'll be waiting for feedback. See you on the Blondie Chain channel.